Hey YouTube, here for another beer review, and today I'm accompanied with my roommate that you keep hearing about, John. He is the official coffee geek of the house. I'm the official beer geek of the house, but I figure inviting someone like him to share some knowledge about this coffee stout that I'm going to be reviewing would be a nice addition, so thanks for joining me.
Thank you, Winton.
No, thank you.
No,
really. Alright, this is a coffee stout by Hopwerks Urban Brewery. Hopwerks Brewery is a Portland brewery, and I've heard so much about Portland beers. I just keep hearing good things, so this is officially my first Portland beer I'm going to have, so thanks so much, Jerry, for hooking me up with this beer. And yeah, since John is the official coffee geek of the house, I thought maybe he could share some thoughts on the coffee.
When you first said that you had a beer from Portland and that had coffee in it, and we hadn't yet turned over the bottle to find out what kind of coffee, I was already thinking it. I was really hoping it was Stumptown.
Oh, I remember.
Then I turned the bottle over, and we'll look at that Stumptown. So I'm really excited about finding out what's inside this bottle. Stumptown, the only experience I've had with it, because here we are in San Francisco where our great roasters are Ritual and Blue Bottle. I'm sporting their gear today, and can you see that?
Yeah.
And walking at Ritual. And also Ritual Roasters. And when 4 Barrel first opened, which is actually a block and a half from our house, they were working with Stumptown coffee. So I did get to try a lot of it when 4 Barrel first opened. I love the Hairbender blend that they were making espresso out of, but I haven't had really an extensive experience with the rest of Stumptown.
Stumptown is considered one of the top coffees in America.
Oh yeah. One of the best roasters this country has. There's Intelligentsia in Chicago, some of the roasters I mentioned here in San Francisco, Vivace, which I think is in Seattle. Please edit this out if it's wrong. But Vivace is really important, and places like Klatch Roasters and Gimme Coffee in New York. And I mean, this is just a short list. I could go on and take up way too much of this video. But this country has a lot going on, but Stumptown's definitely on top of their game.
Which is really good to know. Just on a side note, I don't handle caffeine too well, especially caffeine from coffee. So I'm not going to be drinking too much.
That's why it's daylight.
Yeah, that's why it's daylight. It feels like 4 p.m. I would be up till like 3 p.m. or 3 a.m.
Whereas I can have a shot of coffee and go right to bed.
Yeah, but John doesn't handle alcohol too well, so we're kind of reverse in roles.
We're each other's foils.
Yeah, we complement each other. But because of Prop 8, we can't get married, so...
Vermont.
Yeah, Vermont. Let's go. Iowa. So here we go. I'm going to open up the Survival Stout here. Ooh, little spillage.
Ooh, what's that?
Yeah, man, I smell stoutish, coffee-ish.
Yeah, I have a lot of coffee beers that to me taste sort of like artificial coffee and beer. So we'll see what we get in this one. In fact, that's made with actual Stumptown coffee. I'm excited.
That's a good thing. Actually, the other coffee, was it a coffee stout by AleSmith? Was it a stout?
Oh, Speedway Stout.
Yeah, Speedway Stout.
That's good. That's
an excellent coffee stout. And like I said, I don't handle coffee too well. But when I had that was so good. I even had it on tap on that SoCal brew tour that I did. I forgot which video that was. But yeah, that is good.
And that one's made with San Diego, locally roasted coffee.
Yeah, the beer brewer is also the coffee brewer. So he made this perfect marriage of the two. Actually, also on a side note, I also had 2 other coffee beers, which was an espresso stout by Hitachi no.
Not a fan.
Yeah, that was, like, to me it just tasted like coffee more than anything, but it was like...
To me it tasted like Folgers coffee more than anything.
Yeah, like for him, like I said, he'll be more critical of the coffee part. I also had Mean Times, which is a brewery. Now that tasted like cheap office coffee with porter. It was nasty. It was awful. Anyways, let's huff this thing and see what we got.
Actually, it's very sweet.
Smells sweet.
Yeah. What I'm not getting, and I don't want to say anything until I taste, but I'm not getting that artificial coffee, sort of the dehydrated crystal coffee.
Yeah, I don't get that either. And I mean, so far what I smell...
It smells good.
I smell a good, even balance, just smell-wise, of stout and coffee. I definitely smell coffee. I mean, because if you to smell some stouts, you'll be like, oh, sometimes caramel, sometimes chocolate. But I smell straight up coffee, which ironically is because it's a coffee stout. So I guess we could chug it.
Cheers.
So,
yeah.
Bye.
Wow, it's actually not, in my opinion, not that sweet, but it's actually very good coffee.
Oh, is the coffee good?
I think this tastes like, yeah, it's slightly tangy. You know, I think they could have upped the sweetness, but it almost tastes like a really good cup of coffee, kind of.
Yeah, see, I don't know too much in detail what makes good coffee or not, although I've had some good ones and good espresso shots. So far the coffee part doesn't bother me at all. I mean, it tastes good. And the stout aspect of it, it's the beer. The beer, it's quite smooth. Actually, it's actually really smooth. And not too much carbonation too, really small bubbles. Yeah, I would say the coffee is pretty strong in this. I taste more coffee than beer.
One thing I'm happy about is that it's not, I will never remember this as an artificial coffee stout. Like that taste is not in here. This is clearly, I mean, I know it's made with Stumptown coffee, so it's clearly not artificial, but it could have come across that way in a beer, I had no idea. But this is not. It tastes, the coffee itself is really pleasant. As much as I can see it clinging to the glass, I wouldn't characterize this as a very syrupy stout. It's actually kind of, I'm not going to say thin, it's just a little bit more watery than I would have thought from swirling it around the glass.
Yeah. I guess also because drinking the Speedway Stout, that thing is high in alcohol. It's high in alcohol, it's strong. It's like an imperial stout basically with coffee, so you'll expect that. Stouts and porters in general fall between 5 to maybe 6%. And this one's, I think, 5.3% ABV. Yeah, so it's definitely going to be light and not as thick, syrupy, caramel. You won't get stuff like that. Well, stouts in general doesn't get too much caramel or caramel, however you want to pronounce it. But yeah, it's light, smooth, but definitely has the thickness of a stout, and the coffee adds to it. And I think it has a good balance of coffee and stout. Although I'll say I notice the coffee more in this. And some people may like that. Some people may want more coffee in their stouts.
Yeah. You're saying you notice the coffee more than anything else in this? I mean, I don't know.
It's a toss-up because sometimes I notice that it's very evenly balanced. But like I said when I first had it, I was like, wow, coffee.
Being a coffee drinker, I think it's a fascinating stout. I'm really happy to have gotten to try it because it's right there up front and center. The only thing that, because of my tastes, and this doesn't mean anything, it's just my personal taste, a little bit of sweetness could have counteracted a little bit more sweetness could have counteracted that tang. A little bit, just a little bit of balance between the two.
I guess definitely. As far as just the make of it, just how they made it, the balance of good coffee and the stout that they made, the smoothness. I think this is a really well-made beer.
Yeah, and I think
impressed with it.
Congrats to them for making a coffee beer that actually tasted like coffee. Like it's not. I'm not getting any off tones in the artificialness of that. And the fact that this is made with Stumptown, that's reflected in how good the coffee flavor is in this.
Oh yeah, and you can tell that they're really serious. Yeah, Victory Brewing, they're going to be making a new coffee beer, but instead of a stout or a porter like most brewers have been doing, they're going to do it with a brown ale, which is, I don't know if it's the first official one that's known in the beer world, but I think that makes sense because brown, it has this grayness, it has a thickness, and I think it would match well with coffee too, so I'm kind of interested in trying that.
Definitely.
Although I'll probably be up till like 4 a.m. if I were to do
I'll be up with you.
That's dedication. She's a true friend right there, man. On this couch.
On the couch.
On the couch.
Friendship on the couch.
So straight.
Very straight.
Thanks for watching my beer review, beer blog, and thanks to John for joining me and helping me out with the coffee aspect of this beer.
Thank you.
Yeah, and
bottoms up.
Bottoms up, man. Cheers, kanpai.